Page and Page and Ashbury, 4 blocks away from Jerry, which I didn't even know at that time. When they moved up there, I knew there were some, as I would call them then, hippies. Because I came from middle class family that I was totally into. Jazz thing, organ trio, a la Jimmy Smith places. The seating capacity not over 120, 100 people from San Francisco to LA, to Chicago, Oklahoma City, just playing jazz room, organ rooms, that we call them. And coming back home and seeing this kind of movement, my parents just call the police. Are you okay, Mom? Yeah, sure, call the police. Yeah, then I come in and I was, I wore a suit all the time, and until later years, branching away. I think I went to Europe and I came back far. I went to the Far East and came back in the late '60s, because the movement had started in the '60s, '65, 60. And I had gotten out of school in the '50s, and so I was playing music around here in the '50s, around San Francisco. But to see that whole movement start happening, and my parents, whoa, what are these kids sleeping on my doors? To call the police, What is this loud ass music, down there? Call the police, So, yes, well, she was the one calling the police. And I had started doing session work, and so, I was kind of more as the guy with the, with Polly and Esther pants, and the little, where you put your pennies in, what do you call loafers, and where you put the pennies in there, and the little sweater, alpaca sweater, and very nice trim haircut, and pretty soon I started hanging out at these sessions. They were asking me to, because I was doing I was a new guy coming back. Played all the keyboards, played piano, played organ. I actually read, So I started doing the sessions with this guy called Jerry, who I didn't even know. We just fell in love with one another. We had the chemistry with our playing was just incredible, I said, "Geez, this guy sounds like he's been from New York, man." And I began to hang out with this guy every day. Every day we're doing sessions at nighttime. He said, "Hey, come up by the club, my Matrix, and hang out with me, play organ." So therefore I began to change physically, Pretty soon they say, "Hey man, I'm playing in the park, and you want to come out and play with the park?" So I said, "Park? You guys play in the park?" And he told me where he lived. I said, "Hey man, I live in the..." We became better friends, And finally, my mother said, "There's some more noise down there today." I said, "Mom, don't call the police because I'm with them." That was my first experience of playing with the dead in the park, and it went on, That's where our relationship grew into that, kind of a buddy thing, and we are talking about Garcia. Our relationship really grew, and he was a man that really was gifted. Couldn't read music that well at all. He didn't have to, because we had a thing where he knew my idea before I would tell it to him. I knew his idea before he would say it. It was just like a very heavy chemistry that we could not explain. If it would never where he would turn right, I would turn left. If it was wrong, we both turned right. If it was wrong, we both turned left. It was just like that. It was unbelievable. And the things that you hear on record, that's it. You hear it. Blues from the Rainforest, the 4 songs that he played on. I said, I explained what I wanted. I wanted acoustic guitar. I let him hear the track. He said, sounds like Hawaii. I said, "Why do you say that?" I don't know. Well, it was about Haleakala, the mountain in Hawaii.
Wow.
It was just things like that. "What do you want me to play?" "Listen to the track, Jerry." "Yeah, he's playing. How you like that?" "Perfect, exactly what I was in my mind." So things like that. And we just went along like that. Our whole relationship from the '70s up to, I think I had a band together, and we was called the Saunders Garcia. Then it was called the Garcia Saunders. Then we put a disband. I think I went on and wanted to do something else and disbanded. We put a band together called the Legion of Mary, Reconstruction, and The times we go off and I do my thing. He did his thing, and then he was always playing with the dead. That was the way it was.
Can you tell me about the day you found out that Jerry died?
Yeah, I was in Colorado, and my office called and told me that morning, and I didn't believe him. I told him it was bullshit. And I told him, don't wake me up with all this bad horror news. Wait till something's when they try to convince. First of all, I to Jerry who they said, you're bad, you're Garcia. I said, oh, come on, come on. So they said, go turn your television on. I said, okay. And then that's when it hit me right in the face, that it was really happening. Um, we were left that particular, we had to play in Boulder, Colorado at the Fox Theater. We'd usually do very pretty well there. We usually kind of sell out there, but this time it was like thousands of, at least 1,000 people outside and with candles and with the finger up, and, wanted a ticket and everything. It was a very hard night for me. The promoter guy came to do you want to. I said, man, don't even talk that mess. Do I want to? I said, but I have to. He would never, 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 never stop. I mean, the show must go on. He just went to another plateau. We that night I played songs that were personal to us. Imagine is a very personal song to Jerry and I because at the time when I first recorded that song in 1971, the Beatles had just recorded it. A guy that worked with a record company said, Merl, you need to hear this song. You need to do a cover because you're in the studio. You need to cover this and do an instrumental version of it. I said, what is it? He said, Imagine. So I listened to it and I brought it to Jerry and I said, Jerry, listen to this song. I said, we're going to do an instrumental. I'm going to teach you how to play this. We're going to do the instrumental. That was our first instrumental cover song was Imagine. Not more than 3 or 4 years later, we were playing in New York, Jerry and I. The bottom line, and we're playing, the place was going crazy and everything. And I never will forget, pretty soon, everyone stopped doing, ooh. I couldn't figure what the hell happened. John Lennon walked into our dressing room, and the first thing John Lennon thanked us for recording, Imagine. And that was one of the songs, Back to Boulder. That was one of the songs I opened with, Imagine. From Imagine, I went into Blue Hill Ocean Dance. Blue Hill Ocean Dance is one of the songs that Jerry played with me on the Blues from the Rainforest. And the reason why he played it so well and everything, because it was a song about the water, up under the water. So we went into that song. We have that's a production of our one. After Imagine, playing Imagine, we heard all this form of water and up under the water and just brooks and things, and then we went into the song, and then it came to Jerry's part, which I start playing. I couldn't. I start bawling. I start crying. I couldn't. And then I was kind of ducking behind the organ. And then I felt a hand on my shoulder. I said, and I was, Mike's on my left, so I said, Mike, thank you, Mike. Everything's gonna be okay. And I said, okay, Mike, everything. I looked over. Mike was not near me, and I looked over. And there was Mike standing over there, about 4 feet from me. And I looked over my right. There was Michael over there, and I looked back again. I still felt this hand, and I looked up, and then when I looked back, it was gone. But then when the hand left, I had this urge to play. And I played, and after that, I didn't know my list. I couldn't see my list because tears were in my eyes. I just started playing from Blue Hill Ocean, went straight into Sugaree, and we just took the people for a beautiful healing ride. I wasn't. It was very, 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 very sad for me. I flew in that afternoon. That morning, I was in Colorado, and it was just a sad thing. It was it was very quick. Very small crowd, less about 200 people less, and then Dylan and his close friends were there. The family was there. All the dead family was there. Um, Bruce Hornsby was there. We talked, and um, I didn't see the basketball player, but yeah, it was very hard for me because I was bald. I was out, mentally gone. You know, it was very hurt, touchy for me. I couldn't say anything. I could just gulp and just thank God for Wendy Ware. Wendy Ware, Bob's sister, sat with me and kind of helped me get through things. Um, it was a very emotional, sad thing for me. You know that he wasn't going to be around. This is really happening. I could not believe it. It's a very sad moment in my life. I mean, this last year, I haven't been with him that much because I've been very busy, and he's been very busy touring and all. But when you start getting letters, Merl, you need to talk to Jerry. You need to speak to him. You need to get with him because every time I'm with him, Jerry was a very happy man. No problems. Musically, he played his best from 70. I mean, you can hear it on record, so I don't have to say when he sounded. You hear it.
Right.
You know when he came out, and I told him I want you to do the Twilight Zone. People thought he was trying. The question I said, Jerry, I got this. I'm going to be a musical director of the Twilight Zone. I said, what about it? He said, I live in the Twilight Zone. I said, great. So that was it. That was his answer. I mean, and that was it. That's how I did some of the music. It's a wound, for me, that won't be healed for a long time. The one thing I can do and I shall do is play our music that we played together. And I shall play that so long as I live. It was great music. Some of the songs that I wrote just for him. A lot of the things for Reconstruction were phenomenal. It was, great songs. He played them very well. He could do anything from playing from Miles Davis things, jazz things. He just had a concept. He played his way, but he'd get it across. I know he will be missed. Jerry never asked to be put where he was. That's the first thing he tell you, so don't be looking me for shit, because he says, you put me here. I didn't. I just want to play my instrument, and that's what he kept his hands on his instrument 25 hours a day, and this is the way he operated. This was his love. And Duke Ellington, I used to always kid him with Duke Ellington. I said, you're just like Duke. Music is my mistress. And he started cracking up. Yeah, yes. That was it. Music was my mistress too. And that's what he'll be missed because he was a true loving musician, powerful man. Very powerful, but he never did use it in any negative way. He will be missed as just all the greats will be missed. Like I told you before, I will miss him because I have no one to, the people that I want to play my music now, I'll have to write it out for them. I can't go and say, listen to this. He said, oh yeah. I mean, there's no more of that. There's very few. There's a couple musicians might come close, but no one. It was never a second take. The whole 20 years of playing, there was never second takes on our things. Everything we did on record, it was first takes. Anything you hear out there, it was first takes. Yeah, we had great times. We just had, Jerry and I had musically just wonderful times together. It was inexplainable, and it's like, it was so phenomenal that it was captured on record. And that's why so many people, so many kids from generation will be hearing it. And that's the one thing that I will help that go on. You know, because some of the songs are written especially for Jerry. Some of the songs in the Rainforest was specifically written for Jerry. Those Blue Hill Ocean Dance was a song written by a Maruga drummer, but I saw other elements of it, and I told him, can I add to this and put something to it? Because if this song is sit around 20 years, I got something for it. And I wrote it, rewrote it. Jerry, this is where you're going to sink into the water, and this is where I want you to swim around.
Right.
And that's exactly what he did.
Right.
Yeah. He swam as not as a guitar player, he swam as a beautiful little flute, you know, the sound of a flute.
Yeah.
He sat right there, and his rig was right here. And I more or less produced this one from Jerry, just telling him what I wanted to do, and he just sat there and did it. You know, he listened to it over the speakers. And my engineer, we put some of it went on the computer here, and that was the way.
When was this?
1989. You know, and I'll record it down here, my ideas down here, like. But, you know, that's where, you know, you get your free ideas and come out with an idea, you go ahead and put it down there. That Holly Aqua.